Alright, so first rule of business, always make sure everything is empty. See that? It's empty in there, alright? Magazine's empty. Both magazines are empty. Alright? Always make sure that it's empty. Set your magazines far away, and you always want to keep ammo as far away from it as you can. Alright? And then with this one, because a lot of pistols you can't do without shooting the fire pin, so you got to shoot the fire pin. And then this one, there's levers right here, right? So you push that down, and then it just slides right off. Alright, I just finished putting about 200 rounds through this thing. It actually is not too bad. See? Alright, so first rule of business is just set everything kind of separate. Take out the spring, pop it out just like that, and then the barrel will just slide right out. Alright, and you can keep those separate. So what I like to do is I like to spray everything down first with my Rem oil, right? So little spritz. Do not get any in the firing area. You can put it in the magazine, all right? Let that sit there. You can rub it around with your a little bit with your finger as well. If you want to, make sure it gets nice and clean. All right. You can always wipe that off. Alright. Do the same thing with this. Watch the firing pin when it comes to the slide though. With this, because it's a little deeper and it is kind of messy, you can also use the little pieces of fabric or cotton rounds, whatever, and just kind of spread it around a little. Make sure it's all nice and moist on the barrel head, all that. Alright, so it's nice and moist in there. Alright, now with the springs, you don't normally need to do much. I just spray it a couple times and clean it off, and then I'll take my cloth and wipe it off real good, because you don't want these wet if you ever have to shoot it. Alright, the barrel is a little bit harder. So with the barrel, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little stick. So as you guys saw a little bit ago, that's my cleaning kit, my cloths. So you're going to take a little stick, and just like so. You can use a boar snake as well, as I said, but I just got this kit because it was cheaper. And you can use whatever you want. It's your personal preference. So, and then I got this little things with a little whoop-de-doo in there. Let's see where to go in. Might need a bigger one. I need a little bit bigger of a rod. Alright, let's try that. That fit? Yeah, that'll fit. That'll work. Alright. Sorry, dog's in the kitchen. Alright. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little piece of cloth, a clean piece, see, clean, fold it up into fours, and you're going to tuck it right there in that little, or you can do it like this. I'll do it like that because these are a little thicker than cotton, and pull it, come on, pull it through. And then I like to serenade it a little, right? So got my other little bottle of Rem oil. The same thing, is just different uses. The spray bottle is a little bit more for lubrication, while this is more for cleaning. So And I'm gonna use this in my barrel. Go through it a couple times like so. Right. So, because I only put 100 rounds through it, it's not dirty really at all. Wipe it around. Clean off the gunk and the lead and all that nasty shit here. Come on. And you can use a little bit of a scrub brush too. Use a small one. You don't want to do this too hard because you will ruin your barrel. It's also good to have like a brush like this, just to kind of go in and out. Make it a little cleaner in there, right? And then I'm gonna take this stuff. Actually, I'm gonna use my other cloth. Microfiber, any soft cloth. You don't want to use like paper towel or anything because it's just gonna scratch it and ruin the chamber and all that nasty shit, and you don't want that, right? So use something soft, and you want to clean all the oil off as much as possible because you're gonna re-oil it later. It's a pretty easy process. Just make sure it's nice and clean everywhere. Right? And then stop. Alright, so I'm gonna make sure this is all nice and clean. Alright, my hands are a little oily. And the same thing with this. So I'm gonna wipe everywhere here. You can also go to the extent of even taking one of the rounds, the cotton pads or whatever, and sticking it in the little cubby, the little loop, and going over your gun with it too, because that's going to give it an extra little clean. Oh, and my pistol is a TP9. It is a Canik Elite subcompact. The Canik TP9 Elite subcompact. That's what I'm cleaning right now. So you can go over it a little bit with your cotton. Make sure you get all that nasty gunk out, right? And we'll go over. Just want to make sure and watch the firing pin, because if you hit it, it will probably mess up your gun more than likely. Remember this, you gotta make sure there's gunk out of there. Just wipe it, make it look pretty. Alright, and then the barrel is the next thing, right? So you're just gonna go over it, make sure it looks all nice and clean. Alright. And with guns, you always want to make sure they're faced away from you, even if it's taken apart. It doesn't matter. You need to make sure it's faced away from you. There's no exceptions, right? So, and then I'm even going to take my magazines, and I'm going to do a little spritz here, and just wipe it down nice and clean. Dry it off a little. And this is my little quick loader. So I'm gonna just push down, make sure there's all nice and pretty in there. Make it all shiny and pretty. Next, same thing with this one. Just a small one. You don't want to get too much in there because it will. It's not gonna rust or anything. They're actually the oil is supposed to help with the rust, but you just don't want it in there because it's gonna mess with your ammo and all that weird stuff. So just try to keep it out of there. All right. So now we're looking all fresh and good here. So that's all clean. I'm gonna slide, wipe it down, get all the nasty oil off. And then I'm gonna grab my little oil thing somewhere, my pen oil. I have a backpack full of this stuff, so. Alright, so it's always good to have one of these too. They're good for just breaking nasty stuff up in the slide. So, go over this again. Alright, so break this off. I don't particularly know exactly what to do with this, like how to open it, because it has a little needle that it's supposed to shoot, that it's supposed to kind of come out of, but it comes out very slowly. So I always put a little bit, just a little, not much. Of course, with the needle things, you can't really do much, but sorry, just all right. And you just want to make sure it is decently oiled. Not too much, but just enough, right? You can do all along the slide. You can do all this, just like on the corners there. Alright. It's always good to leave a little moisture in there, right? And then what you're going to do is you're going to put the gun back together. So I'm going to take the barrel first, right? And I'm going to pop it in there like so. Right? So it should look like that. And then you're going to take this flat part, or the plain part always goes in the front. So you're going to stick that in there like so, and just push it in. It should pop in pretty easily, right? And then pop it on past the little lever there, right? And bam. Bang, motherfucker. Alright. Now I'm going to load it, because that's my carry gun and I like having my weapons loaded. That's my holster. Give me just a second. Alright. Got my ammo here. I'm going to load both magazines. So this is where that quick loader is really nice. So I got 14 and 12. I use hollow points because this is for defense. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we'll do the 12 round first, right? So this is good because you set it on a flat surface and you push down with it. And as you're pushing down, sorry, camera's not very, you can do it like that. One round at a time though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and Right. Pop that in there and it's loaded. That is going to go over here because, like I said, that's my carry gun. I always like to have it all nice and pretty full, ready to go. All right. This is 14 rounds. I don't use this one because it's got a bigger stem on it. I can't carry it. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Actually, sorry, I wanted to mess with my magazine a little bit. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Can I get one more in there? Oh, it is 15. Yeah. Okay, cool. 15. Cool. 15 rounds up in that bitch right there. Right. Cool. So now, the next one I'm going to do is my M&P. Look at this beast right here. Alright, make sure there's nothing in the chamber. Alright, we're cleaning there, right? You see that right there? No ammo in there. And I'm moving my ammo out of the way. Alright, so with this one, it's a little bit more tricky. So when you slide it open, there's a little lever right here. Gotta slide that son bitch down there. Alright? And then you're gonna cock, pull the trigger, and it's gonna push forward, right? Alright. So it's nice and smooth in there. But then you gotta pull this little thing off right here. And that thing right there. And then there's a firing pin or a lever in here right there. See that green thing? So I'm gonna flip that down. Wait, what? Oh. Never mind. I thought you needed that to take the slide off, but... You can't close it back up until you pull the trigger. And if that thing's down, it will not shoot, unfortunately, which is weird. Okay, same thing. You're going to pull the spring out, and then the barrel. Barrel's badass. I love these guns. This is my favorite gun of all time. Alright, so same thing. I'm going to spritz a little bit here. Just kind of in the general area. Just move it around a little. Alright. Same thing here. Move it around a little. Alright. And I always let it soak a little so you can always get that extra gunk off, right? Because when you're done shooting, it normally is pretty gross. Alright, we're going to do same thing with this. This is 2 little good spritz. And I'm going to use a flat towel for this. And just wipe the spring off, make it look all pretty. Alright. Spring doesn't have a lot of resistance. It's an easier gun to use all the way around. Alright. That's nice and clean there. Alright. And then we're going to do another cotton round. You normally only need about 2 per gun. When I first started cleaning, I was using like 10 per gun. Now it's not so much because I don't use them as much. Because there's more that I got. So, right. Alright, we're going to use some of that rum oil in the bottle, not the spray bottle. Alright. I'm gonna go make it all nice and moist in there. Alright. And then I'm going to take this. Nice and scrubby dubby. I'm going to take a more dry cotton round and moisturize the whole barrel here. Then I'm going to take a little bit of a scrub brush, try to get that extra gunk off. Lead tends to get stuck to the top of these things. Ow, broke myself. So you got to be careful. Make sure you get it all off, because otherwise you're gonna clean. All right, you know what I'm saying. So now that's good right there. I'm gonna take this here. Here. Let me use a little bit of a bigger one. Try this barrel out. Maybe not. There, never mind. Don't listen to that part. So you're gonna take your handy dandy USCCA cloth here. The thing is amazing. I got a lot of this stuff for free from USCCA. Big shout out. I love them. They are an awesome company. I even got some free ammo from SIG for being a member of USCCA. So shout out to 6 Hour as well. Smith & Wesson M&P, an amazing gun. Canik, the first one I cleaned is my carry gun. Every day I just took it to the range, shot about 150 rounds through it. An amazing gun. I definitely recommend all of these. Alright, so now we're going to the slide here. And make sure you get it nice and clean, nice and dry in there. Right? Alright. Definitely looking a little nicer. This one has a big... It's unfortunate. You can see your fingerprints a lot more on it. So you gotta really kind of do a good cleaning on it. And the cool thing about M&Ps is once you take that little pin out that I took out, not really meaning to, you can change the back straps out. It's literally like one of the most simple ones. Just pull it out. And when you buy this gun, this is the M2.0, and I think all of their M2 series come with different back straps. I got 4 with mine. I got the market one, and then I got 3 other ones. A medium large, and then a large. I always put the medium large on there just because it's the most comfortable to me. I love shooting with it. It's amazing. So put that back. That right there. Alright. Going down to the rest of the gun. Make sure it's all nice and dry in here. You can leave rem oil in the gun, just not a lot. Mainly because if you do have to shoot it, it is combustible, so you have to be really careful with it. It's good if you're just letting your gun sit in storage for a long time, or if you don't plan on going shooting anytime, or if you live somewhere where theft rate's not high, whatever, you know, you don't want to have your gun loaded with it in there. I always keep my guns loaded so I don't have to worry about loading them if someone breaks into my home, you know? So, yeah, but Rem Oil is amazing. I definitely recommend them too. They're made by Remington, and it's good for everything. It's an amazing oil. The spray is a little bit more of a lubricator, while the little bottle that I use is a little bit more of a cleanser, I believe, from what my understanding is. So with this, I'm gonna, same thing, a little pin here. I'm gonna just squeeze a little bit on each edge here. You just will always want to make sure your gun's not bone dry. Just on the slides, just slightly. You don't need a lot. On this slides here, let me rub that. I'm gonna scrub that. Got some gunk on my gun here. Alright. So same thing here, just rub it in the slides. Not much, because obviously it doesn't come out very fast at all. Just need enough to keep it nice and lubricated here. Same thing here. So always put the barrel in first. Push it up here and then push back so it should look like that. And then you're gonna put in this one, you put the little tip in first. So you're gonna put the blue. Normally the ends that you put in the gun, like in up towards the barrel, are colored. I think Canik is the opposite, if I'm not mistaken. And that's about it. And let me know what you are shooting in the comment section, and I'll keep a lookout. Let me know if you guys want more. Appreciate it.